Hello and welcome back to this worst cycling game in all existence.
What you on about, pal? Game of the Year 2021 contender.
Nope.
Well, let's be real here. What has been released in 2021?
Odyssey, the Abe's Odyssey series.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Ratchet and Clank is coming, or has come out, and known. Because I can't remember when its release date is.
Clatchet and Rank.
Crash Bandicoot come out
Did
this
it?
year, didn't 2021? I think Crash Bandicoot did. It was either that or late 2020.
Somebody's telling me it was last year. I don't know, I could be wrong though. Might worth a look.
Crash Bandicoot is about time. Yeah, 16th September 2020.
Ah, so
But
yeah, last quarter.
it was close.
I mean, has Game of the Year 2020 been decided yet? Or voted on?
Yeah, Game of the Year 2020 was Last of Us Part 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Game Awards 2020, the most awards was Last of Us Part 2. Most nominations, Last of Us Part 2. Game of the Year, Last of Us Part 2.
Interesting.
Best Narrative was Last of Us Part 2. Best Art Direction was Ghost of Tsushima. Best Audio Design, Last of Us Part 2.
Really?
Best Score and Music, a Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've never actually played it, so... But I assume it's, to how good it is. Because it's Final Fantasy VII, You kind of expect it to be good. Best performance was Laura Bailey as Abby in Last of Us Part 2. Games for Impact was Tell Me Why. I've never heard of that one.
What category was that?
Games for Impact.
Games for Impact.
Yeah, so like Spiritfarer's there. I think it's like all the indie games. Kentucky Route Zero. If Found. So I think these are all pretty much Quentin games.
Whoops.
Best mobile game was Among Us. Best ongoing game was No Man's Sky. Runner up with Apex. I can understand that. And then there was Warzone, which I don't understand why. And then Destiny 2, I understand why, because that goes for ages. And Fortnite, which again has been going for ages. The only other one that I actually would have played Warzone with would have been like Minecraft, because that's still ongoing after all this time. But that's probably won a ton of awards over time anyway.
Oh yeah. It's been, when did it come out? I want to say like 2006 maybe. 2005.
Something like that.
Because I feel like it were on original Xbox and Xbox 360 not long after 360 come out.
Yeah.
And that were like 2005, I think.
Best indie game was Hades. This is all 2020, by the way.
Hades, was that roguelike one?
Yeah, it was. Best community sport was Fall Guys before it fell off the map, and nobody ever heard from it again, so nobody cared. And then it was Apex Legends, because, let's be honest, Apex has been going strong for a while.
Yeah, do you remember when it was free on PlayStation and stuff, so everybody played it?
What, Fall Guys? Yeah, and then nobody played it anymore, because nobody cared.
I played it a bit, but I was never very good at it.
Well, it was just one of those. It's like, you always got those knob players that were just like, I'm going to grab you and just tug you, and they were both going to lose. And it's like, how is this helpful?
Oh, you don't want an unexpected tug, do you?
But yeah, skipping over that. It's like quite a lot of them was Last of Us 2, because it was it got 7 awards that year.
I mean, it was.
And they got nominated for 11. I mean, I've never played them fully. I've got them. I just haven't gotten round to them because obviously when you have a game backlog on each console, I mean each console you've ever owned, of about 300 games plus, it's very difficult to get through them all.
Yeah, because obviously new games are coming out all the time, and you're like, oh, I want to play that.
Yeah. And by the time I actually get these games, the hype's already died down. I've forgotten about the game, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll have that. I'll add that to the library of games I own.
Importantly, for like narrative-driven games, there's, you know, like the sort of contents of the game are within pop culture by that point as well.
Yeah.
So there's like memes
Yeah, exactly.
of it and, you know.
And you don't get all the spoilers straight away, so it's all right, you know. Whereas if I played it now, I think that everybody would spoil it and go, "Have you got to this bit?" And it's like, "No, thanks," sort of thing, you know.
No, that's well, I technically haven't played them, but I've been sat there in the same room with
as them being played.
Well, she's been playing them, yeah. So
Yeah.
I know
Well,
the crack.
Well, I've played every single Uncharted, other than the spin-off one that they had. But I was, which I was quite happy with those. That they.
Sakake, that's it. Not, what did I call him? Sigmund or something.
It's Sakake.
Sakake.
You say Sakaki like you say like magic mushrooms.
Shiitake?
Yeah.
Is that magic mushrooms or is that just
It's just a mushroom, but obviously, but because I couldn't remember what it was precisely called, you know, I say a mushroom and then you think of the actual name of it, and it's just easier that way. Because I say one thing and you relate something to it.
What can I say, Dick? I'm a fun guy.
Mushroom.
I don't want to make too many of them jokes. It won't leave mushroom for the rest of the episode.
Get out. Take your crappy bicycle with you.
If you enjoy the sound of us chatting breeze and me making the same terrible jokes, then by all means feel free to like, comment and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to us.
Well, I happen to find out something that you'll find interesting, mate.
Oh yeah?
Is that Sony have patented an esports betting system for its consoles a while ago, and they're possibly integrating that in future. Because obviously you wouldn't buy a framework like that if
unless you're planning on using it.
Yeah. And so the odds are calculated by the player or team's historical performance, allowing users to bet on their favourites in a variety of ways. So basically, it's like any other betting system. However, you can use Bitcoin, amongst other things, for it, which is a bit odd, but it's still... I don't think that's a great idea to just go, you know what, here's our consoles. Oh, this is for the PS5 and PS4, by the way. So they've gone, here's our consoles. You can... Oh, you were driving outside the city? Okay.
I didn't realise there was a invisible wall, just like I could mill around wherever.
You just drove off as well, cycling away from the restaurant. So you can essentially bet on a PS5 and PS4 on esports, and I think that's a stupidly bad idea, personally. Because
kids play on it.
Yeah, and typically they have the bank account synced to. Like, how many stories have you heard about people buying like V-Bucks, which is a Fortnite currency, on their parents' account, like parents' cards, and it being like a stupid amount to the point where the parents are almost like either almost or are in financial ruin.
It's one of them things that pops up every now and then. Like you'll see it in, well, I would say a newspaper, but online articles that you get that go, I don't know, Florida boy spends $10,000 on such and such video game or something.
I think the highest I saw was somebody spent 40,000. I think.
40,000 quid.
Yeah.
Jesus. Right. Didn't pop up. Do I have to approach you from a certain direction? I left the man in the hands of someone nearby and went back to work. Right, okay.
So what?
So it's letting me continue now.
Okay.
I'll get my bicycle. Wherever I left it. Oh, there it is. Parked properly at the side of the road, I might add.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oopsie daisy.
This is a BBC one. My son spent £3,160. Yeah, that was BBC. Parents anguish as son spends their $20,000 savings on Twitch gamer stars.
Good God.
So, you know, Fortnite class action after kids spend $1,000+ in the game. You know, it's that sort of stuff.
Two-factor authentication. I cannot stress that enough, people. Authentication. Where did I get the extra F from for that? Authentication isn't a word.
No, it's not. I just accept that you can't talk.
I thought you would. Oh, he's just letting it slide. So not going to call me out on failing English.
Nope.
Which, by the way, is it impossible?
An Australian 8-year-old spent over 5k playing Minecraft.
Yeah, it might have been an emergency.
Oh no, UK mum went completely, and I'm quoting it here, ape shit when she opened up her credit card bill to find out somehow she accrued over 5,400 AUD in costs. And that was in 2019.
Australian dollars.
Now, roughly, I think that £100 is $170. So if I'm doing that correctly, that's over £3,000.
Good
roughly.
God.
So, you know,
It's just going to happen more. But
yep.
on the other hand, it could happen, and you could have success stories like my child bet all this money and made me a millionaire with a savvy esports knowledge.
I mean, that's no different to when they put their children to essentially work and actually be on esports teams, and then they end up making millions that way. And they're like, oh yeah, I supported my son, and it's like, no, you saw that there was money in it, and you basically went, let's have some of that action. And because I think I saw one person who was like, I think they were one of the top 10 Fortnite world champions or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he ended up with like 3 million. He went, oh yeah, I bought my parents a house, and it's like, mate, you can't even handle your own money. You're like 10. Doesn't make any sense. Just get them to put it in a bank account for you and just like sit there, and then you can do whatever you want. Be a kid.
Yeah, that's it.
I just find it weird personally.
Modern day
like
sort of pageanting, isn't it? Although I do
yeah.
understand that pageanting is still a thing.
Well, I said that to you, didn't I?
Morally questionable though it may be.
And I find it weird when a child, like, not modern, like not when they're grown up, but when a child, like I mean an actual child, is earning more money than their parents, because it almost puts unwanted pressure, because they're then almost responsible for if their parents go into financial ruin in some way, shape, or form, such as like when there's this pandemic on and stuff, and people get laid off all the time, and then it's like, oh yeah, our only source of income is you, and it's like a 10-year-old child who's got like a ton of money in their bank account. It's like, that's just way too much stress. I think that's just, you know, a kid doesn't need that. A kid, and I know this sounds like very old-fashioned, but a kid needs to just be a kid and do whatever they want, and just
you're quite right.
go mental.
In my opinion,
Like,
you're quite right for all of that.
Like, they don't need the stress of going, oh yeah, you're now earning out like a wage to, you know, run our lives.
Yeah. Wow. If I'd been there, I would have been seriously injured. Thanks for reminding me of that. Oh, good God. You see my bike start to have a funny do.
So I think it's like, I don't think you actually got a game over.
No, not this time. This time I didn't.
No, I actually don't think you had a game over. Like, it's not the butterfly effect. Just because you didn't save that man at first doesn't mean like anything. Because first you saved a woman, didn't you, last time, and now you didn't.
Yeah.
And so, because obviously she wasn't there, it was a man instead. And apparently you didn't care this time, so it's clearly like Groundhog Day.
We'll just keep going in circles. Going in circles. I feel with... Well, a good example of it is, as we've discussed, children earning huge amounts of money from, you know, gaming, social media, that sort of thing. It can potentially warp the concept of money in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm by any means badly done to, but I think it's important to learn the value of money, like, early on.
Well, it's from my aspect, it's just, I think that...
And it's where that dude got stabbed.
Yeah. I just think it's more a case of, like, although they do need to learn, like, although, and this just doesn't apply to kids, this learns to all people in general. They need to learn, like, that money isn't easily come across. But at the same time, I think they should just be able to do, like, if they can, they should be able to do what they want in some cases. Obviously, if they went on like a massive like spending spree and they're like, oh well, I can't afford food for like the next 2 months, it's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done that, but you know.
Hell?
It's a cat in a tree.
Can you see it?
No, it's in the tree.
This tree?
Yeah.
I can hear the cat's voice from above.
Oh, look at that.
I need to find a ladder somewhere. Oh yeah! Looks just like my cat.
Yeah, if your cat was made out of stone and didn't move.
Looks very animatronic, doesn't it? Oh, here's a ladder. This'll do. Okay. That'll do.
It's gone golfing all over again. Also, the cat sounds very weird.
This is good. I'll help you now. Oh, hey up, chap. Tammer, where the bloody hell have you been? I was worried when I didn't see you anywhere. This cat was up in a tree and couldn't seem to get down, so I just saved him. Is this cat kept at the temple? Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for your help. Since you seem to be a good and kind-hearted person, let me tell you a thing.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Always very good advice to take, Deck. And very good advice to dispense. There is a slightly unusual custom in this town. I'm not going to say anything bad. The sooner you get out of this town, the better. Well, what do you mean? I can't give you any details, please understand. Do you want to leave town?
Yes.
Do I?
Yes.
I left Nodaira-cho. Soon after that, I sent a message to Tatsuya from my phone, but he never replied. I don't think I'll ever go back to that town again. I hope Mr. Sakaki is safe.
How is that game over?
Since then, I have not been able to contact... What? Can I just continue it from there? Yeah. Okay.
How is that game over? If anything, that's game end.
It's like get out of town. Okay. Did get an achievement for it.
So you got an achievement for it, but it still said game over.
Yeah. Like
It's
follow
there,
the
'cause-
monk's advice or something. So we're not following the advice that this monk gives us now. I have an appointment with a friend, so I think I'll stay until that's done. Well, please be careful. Yes, sir. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way.
Yes, I'm on my way.
Do you want to ride
Sorry,
your
that
bicycle
was
there?
from... No. I was singing from... what is it?
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle?
No. It was Brother Bear.
Ah.
I think it was
I
Brother
was
Bear.
thinking of rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. What a banger.
No. It was good, but no, that's not... Tell everybody I'm on the way. No. No, Richard, that's not even the same tune. You need to watch Brother Bear again. I'm sorry, but you just do.
Brer Bear.
Where they're looking in them pieces of ice and they look like a hole of mirrors and they see one that's like normal and it turns out it's really messed up.
Yeah. I remember it now, like it was today.
Or in this place, tomorrow. Because
Yeah.
apparently you repeat the same day.
Yeah, there's some Groundhog Day malarkey going on here, isn't there? Well called, Deck.
It's weird, isn't it? And with the fact that there's no people, maybe you are actually held in some sort of purgatory at the moment.
So maybe it is purgatory. Oh, here we go. Here's Stabby McStab. He seems to be grabbing a knife. Do you want to warn him? No. No explosion for you, sir. He died at the hospital where he was taken. Never thought I'd run into a phantom killer, but that killer seemed to be clearly targeting that man. After calling for an ambulance, I left the man in the hands of someone nearby and went back to work. Why couldn't I do this the first time? Did I? By saving that woman, firstly, did I lock myself out of doing anything else?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. This game doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm some kind of delivery man. John Urban Eats, to be precise. I keep forgetting his name, so I need to wait for his backpack to load up so I can see what it is. They
You
call me
forget his
John.
name, so you look at his backpack.
Yeah. Where do you keep your name, pal?
On the labels. Actually, I don't. That's a lie. I'm not. I've not done that since I was like 6.
Disregard that. Oh, I remember that when you know, you had your name written in label on your school jumper and that.
Yeah.
So it won't get lost. Cause can you imagine just trying to sort out 200, 300, 400 identical jumpers?
No, because I'm not a laundromat, so it's fine.
Laundromats. Got to be someone called Matthew that works at like a laundrette or something.
What? So you can call them laundromat?
Yeah. Or like just the name of the business in general, laundromats. Why's it got 2 T's? My name's Matt.
No, because when you call it laundromat, you need like plural, so you need 2 mats working there at any time.
That could be achieved in this modern job market, I feel.
I mean, it can't because that's it's technically against the law, because then you're singling out people who aren't named Matt, so it's discrimination in some way.
That is true. The fine line that's walked every day. I mean, we've seen something new here today, haven't we? We've spoken to the monk who told us to get out, and we did briefly before coming back. Oh yeah, this is the ghost story. Right, so now what? Wait, is this... I think this is the point where I turned the TV on and it was like, there's been an explosion. A male passerby was stabbed with a knife in a street attack in Nodaira-cho last night. He was transported to hospital and was pronounced dead shortly thereafter. Suspect fled the scene but was subdued by the rushing police force. The police will continue to investigate the connection with the recent street attack in Nodaira-cho. Oh. Hey, long time no see. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Whoa, what's happened here? The music's got all intense.
They're also just like staring into your soul.
They are. Welcome back. And who are the people next to you? Oh, it's the mayors. But more importantly, I heard about you. I heard you're good at what you do. What? What are you talking about? Oh, come on, don't be silly. You've been cooperating with the town's tradition, right? The tradition of keeping strangers out. This is a nice town. You should live here too. We've even got the mayors here, you know? What? What?
This isn't just bizarre at all.
What? Whoa!
Game over.
OJ, hey, you haven't shown your face at all lately. Where the hell are you? Well, I was moved to Nodaira-cho. Seriously, that's sudden. You should at least call me or something. My bad. By the way, what are you up to these days? You know Urban Eats, right? I'm a delivery guy for them. You said you were one of them, right? Oh, I know. I heard some rumours that Nodaira-cho is a good place to make money, you know? It's a good town, you should come here. You're working on a delivery in Nodaira-cho, right? Well, I don't care. I've been bored with so few requests lately, so I'll go there. And while I'm there, I'm going to visit your house too. Okay, I'll wait for you. So the cycle continues.
Well, what? That's so redundant.
We got to the end, Dak. There we go. Are you happy that we can put this game to bed with some resolution there?
No, it didn't make any friggin' sense. What did that have to do with anything? Why does a delivery guy have to guard the town like he's some sort of weird protector?
I am the Protector Man.
And why do you get game over when you leave?
Because you can't continue the game, so it's over.
Yeah, but that's not a game over, that's just an ending. You don't go, oh yeah, there's multiple alternate endings, but if you choose any of them other than the one we lay out, it's game over. That doesn't make any sense. That's so bullshit. I mean, if you had like if you had any sort of like visual novel that did that, you wouldn't freaking buy it.
No,
If they went, you know what? I'm trying to think of a visual novel here, like Clanad. Clanad's an anime and it's a visual novel. If you went, Clanad obviously has a certain linear progression in the story, where the best ending is where you end up with this girl who's very sickly, and you end up marrying her and so on. That's the true ending. But you can have every other ending, and it doesn't just go, oh yeah, sorry, game over, you're done. It just goes, yeah, this is an ending. Like, this is one of potentially many endings, but this is just like, yeah, screw you. You've lost. And it's like, that's not an ending. That's literally just you giving a giant middle finger to the player for not choosing what you want them to.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like you've been shown a giant middle finger by playing this game?
I do feel like I have, because I've not even played it, and I just feel like I've just been like sworn at rudely.
Feel
like
the rage flowing through you.
just like somebody. It's like if you ordered a milkshake and somebody spat in it, like right in front of you. It's just like, and you just like you were saying thank you to them, and they were just like, oh, one sec, there you go, have your drink, and you're just like.
Oh, that doesn't bring all the boys to the yard. Not at all.
So, like you know, and I don't mean like normal, just like saliva. I mean like where they like hoik it back and they get all snot and stuff in it.
Oh no, you don't want a hoiky luger, do you?
So you know, it's one of those. It's just like that's what I feel like from this game. It's just middle fingered any other like sort of progressive game with some sort of branching storyline, and it annoys me.
But on that note, we should probably call it a day, pal.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
It's certainly been an experience these last few episodes, haven't they?
Well, it's gone from really dull and daft to, oh yeah, screw you. You eventually got the ending that we wanted you to get.
And what an ending! There was a bit of intrigue to that, actually. You've heard Deck's opinion on it. You've heard my opinion on it.
More horror.
Game of the Year 2021.
Should have been more horror. No, never.
So...
If there is no other game, like I would pick Mass Effect, which is a remaster of every Mass Effect, other than this. Because this is an insult. This is a giant middle finger. Oh, Resident Evil Village.
Oh,
definitely.
Of course, yeah. Forgot about that.
I would put that higher than Mass Effect,
yeah.
because obviously we've had Mass Effect for years, but not.
Yeah, you're right, Village. Aye.
Never this. Never this.
See you next time.
Bottom of the barrel.
Say bye, Deck.
Goodbye. Never buy this game ever. Get it. 2 out of 10.
Game of the Year.